Countdown coming on, you're going to count down and beat it. Here we go, look then. 5 seconds. Season 3, race wide, under starters orders. Go, go, go!
Is rising. Only 2 cars left in the pit lane before we have a full grid. Take a look up to the lights and then we'll see the countdown coming on. We're going to count down. 5 seconds. Season 3, race wide, under starters orders. Lights out, EERC is go, go, go. Good start, Richard. The captain tries to keep the inside line down towards Tunnel. The one looking like Mel. Coming around the outside. In towards Cox Corner. A spectacular move. Oh, big rest. And that's really Barkley. Into the bollard then. But Hamilton swings him round the outside line. He's got back to the start as well. Oh, no. And the starter.
Good evening and welcome to Oulton Park for qualifying for round. Is penultimate round of the 2024 season 4 of the EERC British Touring Car Championship. My name is Edward Hunter. Alongside me in the broadcast booth is Pascal Eggert controlling the cameras. We've got 3 minutes left to go of qualifying here. And currently it's Hunter Birch's Tom Hackett on pole with a time of 1:38.4. Louis Hartley is second for Finavond. Of course, championship leader Loic Moynier not present here today. So Hartley will be hoping to close that gap significantly as we see more times being completed here. Across the line comes Peter Neuendorf, who gets into the top 7, and Neuendorf continues his strong recent run of form. Into the grass he goes, so he's not going to have a whole lot of time for a final run. There's Noah Tuomela, teammate, of course, of Loic Moynier. And he's on a personal best time in the first sector there. But after a very impressive debut, it's great to see Tom Hackett currently on pole position. Of course, he's probably got the least ballast of all of these drivers.
Yeah, compared to last time where you had the newcomer ballast, the full 75 kilogram.
Of course, yes. So that's not applying anymore, and that's Pascal talking, by the way. I wasn't sure if Pascal, if you were talking,
No,
if you
I'm
wanted
with
to
you.
comment on this one or not. So, because usually you just like to sit in there and say nothing. So even if you are commentating, so. But there's Krzysztof Szylski for Optiminal Esports. Crosses the line on 58.5, stays 21st. But yeah, with that no ballast on Tom Hackett's car, he's certainly got a big advantage over Louis Hartley at the present moment. Luca Gray, who was on pole last time, is in 5th behind Noah Tuomela. And it is Schienemann, Neuendorf. So we've got Tim Neuendorf and Peter Neuendorf, the two Neuendorfs. So that's just what threw me a little bit. We got Nicholas Homewood, otherwise known as Nick Homewood, in 8th. Patrick Magnussen 9th, and Mark Horvath rounding out the top 10 then, as we got less than a minute to go. And it's Patrick Magnussen that actually lights up the first sector, but he's got one of those pesky Hunter Birch cars in the way as he goes through the middle sector now. Still up on his best time then, so great chance of Magnussen to get into the top 6 here. Park, this lovely circuit in Cheshire, of course. Down over the line he goes, Magnussen, and Magnussen is going to go, is the line right at the end of the straight, P3. Very, very good lap, actually, to displace Tim Neuendorf. There's Alexander Serema for Crown Dental Group. And he is just coming through Lodge Corner and into Deer Leap now. And he's just about going to cross the line. No, he's going to run out. The clock's going to run out just before he hits the line. So this will be his final run. And it's good enough for 15th position. So that's the final points paying place, of course. Right behind Oliver Hargitay. Looks like Homewood has set a lap faster than Peter Neuendorf to get up to 8th place. I think Neuendorf decided to qualify on the medium tyre for some reason, as Yannick Pleiss gets the final corner very wrong indeed and goes into the pits. So there we go. Second event in a row while Hunter Birch simulation car is on pole position, but this time it's the Goldtacular team in the form of Hackett. But Tuomela has actually still got another lap to do here.
Yeah, also Neuendorf. Tim Neuendorf in this case, impressive P4 right now with the newcomer ballast. Let's see if Tuomela can do something about that still.
Yes, so Tuomela has set a purple first sector, 31.3, which is slightly slower than Hackett's best lap. 44.0 in the middle sector. That's not looking too strong. It's really going to have to be something special because it was like half a second down in sector 2 there. Through Druids and into Lodge he goes, and now across the start-finish line goes I'm getting a bit confused because Hayek is filling in for Moynier. Tuomela does go third fastest, but unfortunately that's not enough to challenge for pole position. So that's row 2 for KV86. But as Hayek has abandoned his lap too, that is qualifying completed then, Pascal, and another first-time pole setter.
Yep.
So confirmation then: Tom Hackett, 138.406 in his second event in EERC British Touring Cars, takes pole position from Louis Hartley, the man second in the championship. I'll have to get the standings up and figure out what the gap is to Loic Moynier going into this one. Noah Tuomela will start from third position with Patrick Magnussen, his teammate alongside him. Tim Neuendorf. First time we've seen Tim Neuendorf in action. His brother Peter, I assume they're brothers or possibly related in some way, which is why they share the same last name, Peter and Tim. But Tim this time gets into the top 5. Luca Gray will start in 6th for Hunter Birch. Peter Schienemann and Nick Homewood will start 7th and 8th. And it's Peter Neuendorf and Mark Horvath that round out the top 10. 11th, Dan Hayek filling in for Loic Moynier. Yannick Pleiss will start 12th ahead of Oliver Hargitay. And Marcel Morel will start 14th. Alexander Serema will begin in 15th. Matthew Lee will start his first ERC British Touring Car event in 16th, just ahead of James Haskell, another newcomer. Thomas Raschke will start 18th. Matthew Williams has rejoined with Kimuru Motorsport, the Welsh team, I believe, in 19th. Joshua Dexter rounds out the top 20 for Optiminal. Andy Horton will start 21st. Krzysztof Szylski 22nd. And Stefan Nilsson failed to set a time. He'll start from the back of the grid. And it's not Imola, by the way. They've failed to update the graphics since round 1. So we'll just have to put up with that, I guess.
Yeah, Nilsson had issues with his game. He just about made it in there.
Well, that's lucky for Stefan. Let's hope his connection holds. So the gap up front, it's 272 points for Loic Monnier and 207 points for Louis Hartley. So that's a 65-point gap. And how many points are not offered today? I'm trying to figure out per race.
I'm gonna look with you. But that's definitely a tall order.
Yeah, he's certainly not going to get in front, but he could get close enough to make the to make the points battle go to the final round. Trying to figure out how much you can actually what the max score is from all this.
22 points with the most laps led, a win, and the fastest lap. So
of course, because there's that statistic too. So be 22 times 3 is one the Hunter Birches blows up. That must be Thomas Raschke in the warm-up. I hope that's not a trial run for the race. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Hackett can do.
Yeah, I think he definitely has chances. Hartley has only a bit less ballast than him, so...
Yeah, and also important to remember who's got the soft tyres at their disposal. So in terms of race 1s, I think Tom Hackett, because other people have been sharing that car most of the season, he's got no option but to use the soft tyres in race 1. But of course, he won't have any ballast whatsoever. So this is a great opportunity for him. Patrick Magnussen will also use the softs in race 1. He's got 27 kilograms of ballast. Luca Gray is also going to use them in race 1. Louis Hartley too has got 66 kilograms of ballast, but he's also got the softs. And then Jurka Slovenak as well. So that is essentially 2 of the Hunter Birch cars, 1 of the KV86s, and the man second in the points using the softs now. So Hartley, just sort of at the front there, it could have a great opportunity if he can get the most out of these softs if Tom Hackett makes a mistake to take the maximum point score. But Hackett could be, with no ballast whatsoever, could be very, very difficult to pass here.
Yeah, definitely see Hackett having a great chance to be another winner of the season.
Also important to note, Szylski, who's at the very back, has got a 5-place group penalty. So I assume that means Stefan Nilsson will start ahead of him. And it's the same for Peter Neuendorf as well. So they will both be slotted a little bit down the order, I believe.
And
Peter Neuendorf's still in 8th.
Oh, then you probably meant Peter Schönemann, who got a 5-place group penalty.
Right, it's the chart that I've been given says Neuendorf got penalty, but I think I remember Schoenemann getting into more incidents as there we go, the race beginning, and it looks like Tom Hackett got caught out. I did get away there as the lights went out, and it looks like Magnussen is going to go up the inside, side by side with Louis Hartley into turn 1, the Old Hall corner. So yeah, Louis Hartley holding the lead then, and Tom Hackett will now have to find a way through on his 0 ballast run, whereas the 2 cars ahead of him, while they both have the soft tyres, they have got a significant amount of ballast, particularly Hartley, but Magnussen as well. And look at that, how much they're pushing there.
Definitely not
negotiated there.
Start I expected to this race, but maybe the inexperience with the car coming into play here. I think you need to hold down the clutch a little bit to get the best start and not have only wheel spin. That's probably what happened to Hackett there.
Yep, certainly, Pascal, but it certainly hasn't daunted him too much. Just look behind, that's Gray making a move on up the inside of Neuendorf. As Hackett has got by Magnussen because Magnussen's hit trouble and is falling down the order rapidly. There's something happened there that we didn't.
Yeah, he went into the tire wall there.
Was there contact between Hackett and Magnussen potentially? Yeah, we were watching Hartley, so we didn't see any of it, sadly. So maybe Magnussen has just lit up the rear tyres on his own then. It's Tuomela to third and Gray into fourth then. Luca Gray, he's not got any ballast either, so both the Hunter Birches looking very quick at this phase of the race. Up the inside goes Pleiss, getting past Horvath there in the a yellow and blue...
it's a minion car, yes.
Yes, I was trying to figure out what team it was. It needs to be a special Ukrainian livery, I guess, for Mark Horvath.
It's just his profile picture, I think, on Steam, and Nick made him a minion car.
Oh, it's minions. Okay, of course, nothing as noble as Ukraine being defended there. But yeah, now Horvath has got to deal with Oliver Hargitay, who's right behind him. Wide goes Gray, and Gray spun off. Gray has spun off at Cascades. It's going a little bit too wide, hit the grass. And it was Thomas Raschke, sorry. So there was a very similar livery. I had to make the call very quickly there. And Thomas Raschke has fallen down to 21st position there. So unfortunately, a very costly error there that drops him out of the points paying positions as Luca Gray's all over the back of Tuomela trying to get 2 Hunter Birch cars on the podium as Hackett now is trailing Louis Hartley by 1.3 seconds. So Hartley is starting to extend his advantage here. And Hackett will have to push to catch up if he wants to try and challenge for the win. This is very good for Louis Hartley, exactly what he needed to do to close the gap to Moynier then. Currently, if he can lead the most laps of this race, that could be 22 points coming his way if he can stay at the head of the field come the checkered flag. As we cut to Matthew Lee fighting away with Horton. That's Andy Horton from Celtic Racing, of course. And don't forget, Oliver Hargitay is another one of those making good progress on the soft tyre from where he qualified. He's 9th at the moment, right behind Mark Horvath. As the battling continues, Morel dives up the inside then of, this must be Dan Hayek, and Hayek goes wide. That allows Alexander Serema through as they go over the Deer Leap. And here comes Hargitay then, all over the back of Horvath and Pleiss. And Pleiss looking very, very vulnerable here as well. I think Yannick Pleiss is another driver that has got ballast. Yes, 48 kilograms going into this race on that car. As we cut to Luca Gray now, who hasn't spun, is still right behind Tuomela. Is going to try it and challenge to the outside as they come towards the lakeside corner. A lot of grass cutting there from Gray, so he's really confident on his turn in. Peter Nuendorf, Tim Nuendorf, sorry, still right behind him. Joshua Dexter cuts up the inside of Williams then. And that's Luca Gray. He has spun this time, so potentially some contact with Tuomela into the Knickerbrook chicane. And that's really cost the Englishman. More bad luck for Luca Gray, which has sort of summed up his season, unfortunately. 2 wins, but apart from that, it's been pretty difficult for him to score points consistently. Stefan Nilsson muscles his way through. That must be James Haskell then, in the Vauxhall. Then we cut to Hargitay, who's running now in the top 8 behind Horvath and Pleiss, but being caught actually by Peter Schoenemann. I think has recovered from that group penalty. 72 of Hargitay in the gold tacular. His teammate is leading because Hartley has made an error. So Louis Hartley is no longer leading the race. I've just noticed that. He's somehow... Hackett has pulled a 2-second gap on him, so I assume Louis Hartley's just had a really bad lap. Yeah, 141.8 then. Yes, really bad first sector, I think. Oh no, was it the final sector? 26.6, yes. I have to see what happened then. Here is Hartley in the lead. And he's just understeered off. And as he banged into the wall, he has actually, and that's such a costly error. The man fighting for the championship. And that was Druid's corner, wasn't it? Where he just carried too much speed and just understeered off track into the grass and into the wall, Pascal. And speaking of into the wall, that's Luca Gray that's just hit the inside at Knickerbrook. And that's how he lost 4th position while fighting with Tuomela then. big damage to Luca Gray's car. We've also lost Krzysztof Szylski from the race. Magnussen, after his error early on, has gone a lap down. I wonder if he did exactly what Luca Gray did as well.
Yeah, he went into the pits to repair his damage, actually, then. That's why he's a lap down.
There you go, some big high-profile errors. Hartley quite fortunate, actually, to still be in the race, but Tuomela now is catching him significantly. Hackett is the fastest man on track, 138.8, and he's really been gifted the opportunity here. As Nielsen up the inside then of Joshua Dexter there. That's a brave move through Druid's Corner there as they go towards Lodge. And now Matthew Lee getting involved in this as well. Dexter has to stick to the outside, tries to brake late, and he's going to go in the gravel, surely, if he's not careful. Into the grass he goes. And that's 2 more positions lost for Joshua Dexter then as Haskell gets through as well. Now Horvath challenging Pleiss for 6th position and needs to be careful here because Hargitay all over the back of him towards Lakeside. And the old Esso corner, of course, which is this hairpin coming up. You can just see Hackett on the other side. 4 seconds now clear of Louis Hartley. Or Hartley, though, gained 2 tenths, though, in the last sector. Half the race gone, then. This is looking very, very good for the 194 to take its first win of the season. It'll be the first win for the Goldtacular team if Tom Hackett can pull it off. Meanwhile, Matthew Lee under attack from Haskell as round goes Louis Hartley. He's made another mistake. Has he hit the inside again, Pascal?
Yeah, that looks very likely that he hit the tire wall there.
Well, that wasn't Magnussen that nearly hit him there, was it? No, it's Dan Hayek, sorry. As here we go, Hargitay is going to move to the outside then of Mark Horvath as they approach Druid's Corner, and he's pulled it off. Wow, that was a very, very tight move there, and he had just enough overlap to pull that one off. Hargitay gets up into 6th position then with a gutsy move. Yeah, I can see the minion eyes on the front of Horvath's car as well now. As now Schoenemann is sizing him up, and technically these two, I believe, are teammates.
Yep.
They're both in Finavond White, so Schoenemann might be let through here if he's got the pace. The last couple of laps for Peter Schoenemann. Both on the harder compound, of course.
With Hargitay and Pleiss in the standings, he's 2 points in front of Hargitay and 4 behind Pleiss, so I don't think there's any letting through being done here.
That's very true, of course. And remember, Oliver Hargitay's got 33 kilograms of ballast as well. So
also
that really made... Yeah, so Nick Homewood has got by Yannick Pleiss. We've not been. It seems to be a theme with Nick Homewood, isn't it? Or Nicholas Homewood, as the time screen calls him, the way he sort of gains positions by stealth, while all the others have lost their heads as Yannick Pleiss cuts the exit of Knickerbrook there. Nick Homewood has been very, very sensible and profited, and now he's fighting basically for the podium behind Neuendorf there. So Tim Neuendorf in the number 66. Also another to profit from the errors of those around them.
And so
Hartley, meanwhile, has gone from leading the race to 13th then. And he's just in front of Stefan Nielsen. So Louis Hartley is not going to gain a whole lot out of this one. Maybe just a handful of points when he really needed to gain more to challenge Moynier.
You would think that's basically the ship sailed for the championship.
Yeah, and Luke Moynier, if he's watching this, will be later on, will be grinning from ear to ear as Nielsen tries to go up the inside of Louis Hartley to increase the amount of pain he can do in the championship here and to confound the error that Louis Hartley made earlier.
Yeah, Hartley must have a lot of damage.
Continuing to fight with Horvath. Sorry, Pascal.
That's my guess. Yeah, you see the steering is not straight.
Nielsen, and he's making contact twice there as they go through Old Hall Corner. And he's going to come out alongside because that was very, very wide from Louis Hartley. So Nielsen actually has to size up. But look at this. Horvath does a bit of grass cutting of his own there as he just struggles to get the turn in the Finavond White machine. And Schoenemann has gone through. Remember, Schoenemann, 39 kilograms on board that car, whereas how much has Horvath gotten? Just 9 kilograms. So that is impressive that Schoenemann's been able to gain, as well as having a grid penalty, has been able to gain so many places in this race.
And Neuendorf actually catching up to Tuomela with more ballast in his car.
Tuomela's got more ballast, surely, hasn't he?
No, because
Yeah, 15
Tim
kilograms.
Neuendorf is a new driver, so he has the newcomer ballast, the full 75
Oh,
kilograms.
of course, 75, yeah. They both got ballast, but Neuendorf has got by far the most.
Tuomela with 15, so that's quite impressive. Same tyres as well.
Yeah, and look behind. Homewood is under attack from Pleiss and Hargitay. It's a big battle going on for 4th position. Yannick Pleiss, just hits the back of Nick Homewood there as they go through Lodge Corner into Deer Leap and across the start-finish line. Pleiss has got a great run, and Hargitay is waiting in the wings, looking to strike. But here comes Tim Neuendorf, pushing though Tuomela, trying to force him into a mistake. Hackett has got a nearly 10-second lead now with just 2 laps to go, so it's looking very, very good for the British driver. Comes Neuendorf then, trying to size up a move into Lakeside. And there's Pleiss pulling a little bit of a gap to Hargitay and now moving around in the rear view mirrors of Nick Homewood, who's been doing a very good defensive drive, and it looks like there's a train of cars developing behind Nick Homewood now. He really wants to hold on to this 4th position because that would be his joint best result of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Very likely.
I hope that doesn't sound like that. I think Nick Homewood, let's not say Nick Homewood's had a bad season. He's just missed a lot of races because he's been joining us in the broadcast. As Nielsen, up the inside of Louis Hartley through Knickerbrook. That's a brave move, and it could leave him exposed here as it looks like Homewood has crashed and lost a whole heap of positions just after we're praising him, because Pleiss is now up to 4th, and Nielsen now trying again through Knickerbrook. Here we go, just avoiding the wall there, but you can see right behind them are Lee and Haskell having very, very solid debuts, just in 15th, which I believe is the final points-paying position. Here we go. Nielsen's going to go to the outside. Hartley's car looking very, very wounded. Nielsen is through. Here comes Lee as well.
Yeah.
There we go. Good stuff from Matthew Lee to follow Stefan Nielsen through, and Louis Hartley. All the soft tyres in the world aren't going to help him here because that car is incredibly damaged and hobbling all over the circuit here, as we see yellow in the 2nd sector, which clears immediately. But I think Nick Homewood must have hit the chicane at Knickerbrook. It was sector 2 where he lost all that time. Now Neuendorf.
In this race.
What a fantastic fight we're seeing here. But now Matthew Lee fancies a go at Nielsen, and he's got the inside as they go downhill through Cascades. There we go. Lovely move from Matthew Lee for 12th position, but Stefan is not done yet. He's going to pull to the inside here, just ahead of Lakeside. And Nielsen contemplates going onto the grass there, but thinks better of it. Decides to go on the grass on the inside instead. And Matthew Lee having a superb debut here with all that ballast aboard that car, remember. And there's Serema challenging Marcin Morel for 9th place. And Nielsen makes a big error, so Hartley gets through. And it's going to drag Haskell through as well. Haskell's going alongside. Can James Haskell snatch away 14th from Louis Hartley? The answer is no, as he slightly messes up Knickerbrook there. Look at this. Up the inside goes Oliver Hargitay then. Challenging through Lodge Corner and Deer Leap for 4th position. Pushes Yannick Pleiss wide and potentially allows Peter Schoenemann, who's been catching the pair of them, to get involved then as they start the final lap of the race. Hackett leading by nearly 13 seconds now. And Schoenemann is through past Yannick Pleiss into 5th position, but he wants 4th as well. Hargitay will have to defend, but this is looking very, very good for Hunter Birch Goldtacular. 1st and 4th at the moment, as Pleiss gets pushed out wide as he tries to counter-attack on Peter Schoenemann.
Yeah, that's a very tricky corner to go around the outside there. Little bit of contact. I don't think it was meant to push him offline, but yeah, that's what's happened in the corner.
Neuendorf is only a 10th behind. Here we go. He's having a look up the inside out of Lakeside. And once more, Tuomela defends superbly then. Down hilltop we go. Or Knickerbrook, oh, and they collide there. And that could potentially allow Oliver Hargitay to come through round the outside of Tuamela. He goes and he threads the needle. He's going to try and go around the outside and snatch second from Neuendorf. So there we go. Suddenly it's a Hunter Birch Goldtacular 1-2. And look at this. Pleiss and Neuendorf bang wheels twice. And again there on exit there, Schoenemann makes contact. Oh, and he's spun round by Tuamela. But just about collects himself there. But a controversial moment there as a aborted move from Neuendorf hands Hunter Birch Goldtacular a 1-2 here, and that'll be their first 1-2 of the season as Tom Hackett, and only his second event here, wins race 1 at Oulton Park. A fantastic debut victory for the rookie driver. Oliver Hargitay is going to come through to take second position. Here's Peter Neuendorf all over the back of Horvath here. He's going to fall just short. Pleiss is going to cross the line in third ahead of Tim Neuendorf, Peter Schoenemann, Noah Tuamela. Then it'll be Horvath falling just short of Tuamela. Then it is Neuendorf, Morel, Sarema. Homewood finishes 11th. So really there was a potential podium that Nick Homewood missed out on because of the error, but he's far from the only one who can say that after this. Lee comes home in 12th, and Louis Hartley, Lodi 13th, just beat Stefan Nilsson, but it's a case of what could have been for Louis Hartley. One mistake and his race spiraled out of control. Move right at the end. Looks like Williams has passed Horton for 18th there. There on his return. The Kummerow Motorsport 191. Looks like Luca Gray, after his early collision, is going to be the last finisher then.
Yeah, that was not the final lap I expected to see here.
Oh, and Horton seems to have backed off, so maybe he was low on fuel anyway. Let's see a replay. This must be the start then for Matthew Williams and Tom Hackett. You'll see the lights will change, and there we go. Tom Hackett just had a delayed reaction. I think I wasn't ready, and neither was he. But in the end, didn't matter. Tom Hackett was able to power his way through to victory after mistakes from Magnussen and Hartley. Interesting to see what happened to Patrick Magnussen here. Szylski, so looks like he was lagging out already.
Yeah, looks like a disconnect.
Yeah, or he just went straight into the wall. Now here comes Patrick Magnussen then. Does he just tag the wall? Yes, he does. And the hit detection on the inside that was nasty, caught out at least 3 or 4 drivers in this race. Yeah, so they thought they were clear, but they unfortunately weren't. As there's Rashke, he just got the rear right tyre onto the grass there at Cascades, and around he went. As here's Andy Horton, doing exactly the same thing as Rashke.
Did he do it again? He does.
Dear. Almost. And somebody else ahead of him did it, and luckily he only just brushed the wall, so I think he got away from that one, but the scattered cones tell the story there, and that's what befell Luca Gray there. Yeah, he got it on the exit there. As there we go, this is Magnussen being pushed out wide and into the tyre wall. Was that Luca Gray or Rashke that he was fighting with there?
That's a good question. I don't think, would have to
I think they just lost it coming out of Cascades, didn't they? And Patrick Magnussen just got tapped. That was a bit unfortunate there. And on the inside, that was a bit...
That was a very unlucky hit there. Like with the side and then it spins him around.
And he has to wait for everyone to come through as well, so not the greatest moment. There we go. Dan Hyatt just about avoids hitting the fin of on there, but not Louis Hartley, the Season 2 champion's greatest moment there, as Andy Horton looking like it's already steering quite badly, and then he hits the wall in sympathy right after Luca Gray. I think Gray must have hit it again there.
Yep.
And there's Rashke just bumps into the back of him, so while Hunter Birch Goldtacular running first and second, looks like the main Hunter Birch team having a bit of a nightmare, as that was what happened to Nick Homewood. He just got too deep into the first part of Knickerbrook, didn't he, and spun around on exit. So again, he was having such a good race up to that point. This is Luca Gray. Doing a very, very similar error to what we just saw Nick Homewood do. Just got on the grass and went in the rear. Well, here's Horton. The rear's locked there. That's very unusual. Into corner. out of water tower.
And we're going to the next session.
Over. We got most of the important
Yep.
things.
Apart from the
in
last
there.
lap, but we saw that. Time for the results then.
Right, so final results confirmed then. So absolute dreamland for Hunter Birch Gold-tacular. They don't just get gold, they get silver as well, with Tom Hackett first, over 12 seconds ahead of Oliver Hargitide. And Yannick Pleiss was third for Operation McNuggies. Tim Neuendorf, one of his first performances, fourth. A little bit of contact with Tuomela right at the end, but fortunately he was able to hang on to fourth position for the pot racer team. Peter Schooneman recovers from his grid penalty to finish in the top 5. Noah Tuomela, sixth for KV86 Powerhouse. So I believe KV86 Powerhouse are in a position potentially to win the teams championship. They were over 100 points ahead of Finnevon Green, who didn't have a great time. Mark Horvath is 7th for Finnevon White. Peter Neuendorf is 8th behind his brother for the pot racer team. Marcin Morel, 9th, held off Alexander Serema for Speed Eagles. So Serema rounds out the top 10 for Crown Dental Group. Then Nick Homewood fell to 11th by the end, ahead of Matthew Lee, who did impress in the Vauxhall. Louis Hartley was running second for quite a lot of the race, but could easily have won it were it not for that mistake at Druids. 13th in the end was the best he could do, ahead of Stefan Nielsen. James Haskell rounds out the top 15. Then it is Thomas Rashke in 16th, Joshua Dexter 17th, Matthew Williams 18th, Andy Horton 19th, and Luca Gray 20th. And last of the finishes are non-finishers. Dan Hayek for KV86, Patrick Magnussen also for KV86, and Krzysztof Szylski for Optiminal. Didn't really get beyond the first corner, sadly. Let's hope Krzysztof gets a bit further in race 2.
Yeah, that was a interesting first race. And
yeah, no complaints from me.
Now the ballast in the front. What did you mean?
So let's look at then. The race 2, we have got quite a few drivers saving the slots for this moment. So we got Dan Hayek, Joshua Dexter, Krzysztof Szylski. So all three of those near the back, unfortunately. Marcin Morel from 9th, he will have the softs. Nick Homewood in 11th, he will have them softs. Noah Tuomela, interestingly, has saved the slots for race 2. Thomas Rashke as well in 16th. Yannick Pleiss could be a big threat here. Alexander Serema and the rest have all held on to their softs until race 3, though. But I think ones to watch out for: Pleiss, Tuomela, maybe someone like Homewood as well could be a threat here as well.
Yeah, but impressive drive from Neuendorf with the full ballast. Only unlucky to miss out on the podium there with that crash from Tuomela.
Yeah, was it a Tuomela? I'm trying to remember exactly how it happened because we only really saw it mid-incident. I think
Tuomela hit the
they bumped into each other.
No, Tuomela hit the tire wall. Tuomela hit the tire wall and then they bumped into each other.
And that bounced him into Neuendorf.
Yep.
That is unlucky, but and also allowed Hargitide to just thread the needle between the two. But full marks to Oliver. He judged that very well. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Tom Hackett can make a better start this time on the medium tyres from the front row of the grid. Oliver Hargitide, by the way, saving his softs until race 3, of course. So, of course, he won't get to benefit from them in race 2. But other notable drivers saving their softs till race 3: Horvath, Neuendorf, Peter Neuendorf, I should say, and Tim, and Peter Schooneman as well. So all 4 of those could be a big factor. So you see the warm-up completing.
5 minutes.
And one of the KV86 is just drifting through Old Hall Corner in front of Magnussen. I assume that must be Hayek. But yeah, if he that's 22 times 3 is of course Let me just figure that out. The maximum scoring.
66.
Yeah, and any points for second again? I'm trying to figure out what the team's championship score will be by the end of this. It's the top 2 in each team that score, isn't it?
Yep.
The team's
For
championship.
second place, you get 17 points.
I think we can probably officially say that KV86 Powerhouse have reached a sort of a position where they can't be caught at the moment. Smile Power and Finavon Green were equal going into this one, but with Smile Power basically having left the championship, it does leave third place wide open. 1-2 Vanderbirch Goldtacular, who were 6th, about 11 points behind Finavon White. That will help them significantly, or us, I should say. A bit cards on the table. Right. Not sure how long this warm-up will be. Hopefully it's not the full 15 minutes while they sort out the grid for race 2, but it should just be the order from race 1 then. So a reminder, that will be Hackett, Hargitay, Pleiss will be the first of those on the soft tyres. Neuendorf, Tuo Mella also on the softs in 5th. Orvath also on the softs in 6th. Peter Neuendorf in 7th. Marcin Morel 8th. Alexander Srema 9th. And Nick Homewood rounding out the top 10 instead of Peter Schoenemann. So I think Schoenemann must have hit trouble right near the end because it's showing on the results screen. He's 7 seconds adrift of Homewood, even though he finished ahead of him, I'm pretty sure, on track. On a race view anyway. So there might have been a penalty that the game didn't pick up there. Right, so the grid forming up then, and it's going to be Hunter Birch Goldtacular front row as all. Somebody getting very excited there. That must be Luca Gray. And interesting. Yeah, big. It's very spaced out. I always forget Oulton Park between the front each row of the grid, but the green flag flying, so the start sequence begins then. Can Tom Hackett make it 2 wins in a row? Oh, another slightly ginger getaway here, and that's going to allow Oliver Hargitay to pull alongside, but more importantly, Pleiss on the soft tyres has nowhere to go because it's a gold wall in front of him. He has to push Hargitay a little bit off track. Oh, they come together, and that's Yannick Pleiss in the wall, so his chances scuppered instantly there as Noah Tuomela now moves up to second on his soft tyres. Neuendorf is now third ahead of Schoenemann and the other Neuendorf of Peter. And now here we go, Tuomela already up the inside then before they even get to Cascades, round the outside of Tom Hackett then. So Hackett has got a difficult job to hold on to the podium here. Now Tim Neuendorf, we saw how good he was in race 1, but Hackett of course has got a lot more ballast to carry around now, having won the first race. And it's a similar situation for Hargitay down in 6th as well. But into the wall goes Schoenemann, and Hackett has gone off track as well, and he's going to emerge behind his teammate then. So it's Tim Neuendorf third, Peter Neuendorf third now. So it's a Neuendorf podium lockout here in second and third, as there we go, Srema is picked off by Oliver Hargitay for 4th position. Right,
Do you hear me now?
we are on lap 2. There we go. Yeah. Looks like you got disconnected.
Yeah, I'm coming back in.
Pretty difficult to follow a race when all you can see is like a frozen screen.
Very true.
But Noah Tuomela leads Tim Neuendorf by 0.4 of a second, 147.6 last lap, fastest lap race by Noah Tuomela. Peter Neuendorf is third, 1.4 behind. Then it's Oliver Hargitay in 4th, 0.3 behind Peter Neuendorf. Alexander Srema 5th. Louis Hartley's fought his way up to 6th. Ahead of Matthew Lee. Then Tom Hackett is down in 8th, just ahead of James Haskell. Peter Schoenemann rounds out the top 10. Then there's Mark Horvath leading Andy Horton in the battle for 11th. All but not for much longer as Thomas Raschke has got through. Andy Horton dropping positions like a stone now. Love to show you that, but unfortunately, we're still trying to connect back into the game. So it's a radio commentary now. So Yannick Pleiss is still going, by the way, in 14th position ahead of Luca Gray. Gray, who has set the fastest first sector of the race on his medium tyres. Not from either driver. Yeah, Tuamela managing the gap, but it's Tim Noondorf sets the fast lap there. It's 1:39.9, a tenth quicker. And we just got kicked out of the race again. Apologies for this, ladies and gents. But yeah, Pascal's internet is not the best. So we are on lap 3 now. No Tuamela leading Tim Noondorf by just under 0.4 of a second. And neck and neck in terms of their sector times through the first sector.